So the first thing that you need to do is you need to switch the machine on. And this is how we do it. So here is the button to switch the washing machine on. Okay, so you switch the washing machine on, and as you'll see, everything lights up. Then you need to decide what kind of program you want to do. So that's on this dial thing here. Okay, so if you're just doing cottons and you turn it to the right, there's cottons. And then in the screen, you'll see it offers you temperature. Okay, now 60 degrees is quite hot. So what you probably want to do is to bring it down. Bring it down, press it repeatedly till it gets to the temperature you want to use. I usually use it at 30, unless it's really quite dirty, and then I allow it run to 40. Okay, you can see at cotton, the speed that it runs at is 1600. Well, that might be a bit fast if you've got a really nice windy day, because it'll really wring them out. There are two ways that you can add the detergent to the washing machine. The way I tend to use is using these plastic cups which fit neatly into the whole of the bottle like that, so that's quite useful. And the cup has markers on it, and where it's dimpled in the middle, I fill it up with detergent to that level, and then the cup itself sits at the back of the washing machine on top of the washing with the washing in the machine. The other way, of course, is to use the machine's drawer, which pulls out, and you can put the washing in the marked container in there. I would show you just now, but the washing machine's running, so I can't just now. Oh, look, there's a chili flower on there. But I tend not to use that because eventually some kind of sort of sludge builds up in the drawer and it's not very nice. So the best way, I think, is to use these things inside. So as you can see, the washing's in the washing machine. I tend also, if it's a light wash, to put in one of these Colour Run absorber sheets. That means that if there is anything in there that might run, it'll pick it up instead of it going into your clothes. Okay, as you can see, once you put the washing in, it'll tell you how full it is. Here it's suggesting it's only 50% full, so although that would mean that it's probably not economical to run, it will use less water. Now, as I said before, you change this to the temperature you want, then you press OK. Okay, that will then let you change the speed of the spin dryer. 1600 is the top, but if it's a really windy day, you might want to let it do a bit more drip drying rather than wringing every living, breathing daylight out of it, in which case you can change the speed to a variety of different speeds. Okay, so I'm going to go back up to 1600 because I want it to dry fairly quickly. Okay, so you just tap your way through to it, okay, and then you tip OK. Now, if you want to set the timer, that's this button here. You press that, and then what you do, again with the up and down arrows, you press up and down to get it to whatever the finish time that you want. It'll calculate the rest for you, and then you press OK. All right, and then you press start and the machine will start. Okay, now there might be some other things that you want to do. For example, you might actually rather just do minimum iron. If you do minimum iron, you can see that already gives you a lower spin speed, which is quite handy. If you're washing jeans, which have a serious tendency to not like being overspun, you'll see there that jeans will give you a 900. Trouble is that everything else that comes out really could do with a bit more of a spin. So if you've run it on the denim program, when you've finished, you will press the door button to open the door, and you open the door, and you can take the jeans out, and then you can leave everything else in and turn the spinner around and just do a drain spin, and that will spin it at top speed or whatever speed you want at that program alone. Okay, now other things you might want to do. Okay, further programs give you opportunities for other things. Now, dark garments, if you're doing everything a dark wash, that one's quite good because it's quite gentle on the agitation. It'll also reduce the spin speed. Other extras you might want, on the cottons program, if you press further extras, it'll open another little program which will let you either add an extra rinse or, scrolling down, the soak button. If you press that, it'll allow you to pre-soak something. So if you've got stuff that's coming in out of the garden, the soak option is proving to be quite good. Okay, so that one's really good. And there are a variety of other things. If stuff is really dirty, Water Plus will override the machine's desire to use the minimum amount of water. I sometimes think this drive to use as little water as possible doesn't always produce the best wash. So you can press Water Plus or you can switch it off. Low temperature, okay. It's not option with cottons. That's one I don't ever use, so I'm not sure why that one's not working. And if there are particular stains, you press that button and then an option of different kinds of stains come up. Okay, and again you pick the one, but usually it wants you to add some additional chemical, so I tend not to use that one very much. And the last thing I think that you will find it really useful is the warm air button. If you want to tumble dry, you use the warm air button, and you can see on the screen it gives you an option of how many minutes. Now at the moment what I'm doing with towels is I'm running them in the warm air for 15 minutes just to soften them up before drying them outside. Obviously, if you're going to use a tumble dryer to dry things, you're going to need them to be in there for about an hour. Okay, so as you can see, I've set the machine up. I'm on cottons. I'm at 40 degrees with top speed spin, and as it's ready to roll, the start-stop button is flashing, so I just press that. And Bob's your uncle, off it goes.